Rockstar Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome to the Rockstar Report. Appreciate everyone joining, everyone that's in here. Obviously, your boy's been putting out a lot of content lately. If you haven't checked out the shorts, man, the shorts have just been going crazy. The shorts have just been going crazy. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a preview and prediction video. I feel like I'm lagging. Over here. Let me pull this up. Trying to fix this where I want it. Yeah, I'm definitely lagging right now. Don't know what's going on. Appreciate everyone in here. Hold on 1 second. There's a... How did I do this? Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to get everything together here for the PowerPoint because the PowerPoint is messing up right now. Hold on. Because I got a PowerPoint for you guys. I got a PowerPoint. I just got to get it up. I don't know why this is being like this. Let's see here. I got that. Everything's good there. Everything is good there. That's fine. Yes. That's fine. Yes. Okay. And let's see if I can pull this up correctly now that I have it. Let's see if it works, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry that it took me forever to get this to finally work. Gosh. Yeah. Appreciate. What's up, Nick? All right. Let me get this pulled up, man. I know I'm dicking off over here. I don't deserve any of y'all's views or likes right now. I am dicking off. Yeah, that didn't do what I asked it to do at all. Whatever. All right. Well, that's fine. We'll go over here. Give me a second. We're going to go over here. And we're going to get this going. And then we're going to go over here. And we're going to apply this. And then we're going to do transition. Now let's do animation. And we're going to do that for all of these for the PowerPoint. There we go. Present. Let me get all this. All right. Cool beans. It's fine. This will have to do, ladies and gentlemen. This will have to do. I guess no one's watching. Jeez, let me see what's going on here. I guess no one's online today. No one's online. No one wants to watch the Rockstar Report, I guess. Breaking news will be out this week. Wow, Malik Neighbors is out this week for the Giants. Okay. Still doesn't mess up my pick for this week. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, wherever you're watching, wherever you may be. I would greatly appreciate that. Because obviously we're not getting no views right now, and I don't know why that is. This is, let me see something. There's something got to be going on with the YouTube algorithm. I don't like this right now. Let me see something. Did you call me a nobody? I'm just saying, I feel like nobody wants to watch me today. It's weird, man. YouTube is so weird. 1 minute I'll have thousands of views. The next minute I'll have like 10. It makes no damn sense. Like, it's like, I feel like the YouTube just picks and choose who they like. I don't know if it's the YouTube out like picks and choose. I mean, it's a bold goal, yeah, for sure. But it shouldn't be that hard. Shouldn't be that hard. All right, let me fix some things. Y'all vibe out for a second. I'll be right back. Y'all vibe out for a second. I appreciate that, Panthers Blue. It's all good, man. I'm just having a difficult day with technology. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Yeah. All right. Enough of this shenanigans. Let's get right into it. I don't know what's going on with the something's going on though. Hold on. Something is going on with the YouTube today. It ain't me. I know that for a fact. All right. First things first. I know what's going on. Timmy Lewis, yep. Icky, yep. No, NFL Week 5 picks and predictions. Let's see what this. Caleb Farley, Trevor Wallace, yep. Juba, yep. Okay, yeah. All right, that's good. Everything's good. This is good. Okay, all right, we're moving right along. Sorry, I'm having to fix a lot of stuff. Hit that like button, damn it. Well, appreciate that, B. Amos. Appreciate that. All right, let's go. Let's get right into it. I'm gonna stop wasting y'all's time. Let's get right into it. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, there was just something that was going on with the YouTube that I had to go in and fix, but we got it all fixed. It's all good now. And here we are. Now, obviously, you can see we're gonna talk about some things that happen in that. I'm not gonna harp too much on that Bengals game much more. But there is some missed opportunities in that game that I want to talk about that going into this week that we need to fix. Okay. There is some missed opportunities in that game that we need to fix going into this Bears game. Another thing is I've got some hot takes for you. A position group of mine I think is top 5, top 10 in the league right now, and a player that I think is top 5 in the league right now that's on the Carolina Panthers. Now, it's a couple things. Then we're going to talk about Trevor Wallace first start, 3rd round pick out of Kentucky that we got coming to fill in for Shaq Thompson. And then we're going to get into the Caleb Farley signing, and then we'll talk about some picks and predictions of the NFL. We'll go through the schedule, and we're going to talk about each and every game. All right. So let's get right into it without further ado. Let me get this pulled up. All right. We had it like this the other day. I don't know if I like that. I like that better, but I also like myself being in it. All right. Or we could just rock with that. We could rock with that. That's fine. Learn from your mistakes. All right. There was too many damn missed opportunities in that last game. Okay. Against Cincinnati Bengals. Okay. All right. And Dave Canales, basically, when he was talking about in his press conference, he summed it up perfectly, ladies and gentlemen. When he said there were way too many opportunities lost, code for basically we screwed up. All right. It's the same old tune that's been played by Carolina for the last year and a half, but at least they're getting some opportunities now. Now, I guess that's progress, but if you want to call it that, let's break. The problem is there's a reality here, and the Panthers managed to bungle this game against Cincinnati. They gave Cincinnati that win, in my opinion. This is a game that Carolina could have won and should have won. The first things first is right out the gate. On that opening drive, you failed to punch it in. Right out the gate. Because we looked sharp marching down that field. They actually looked like they knew what they were doing. 1st and goal on the 2-yard line, ready to punch it in and take an early lead, and then you get nothing out of it. 4 damn plays from shotgun. They couldn't even push it in from 2 freaking yards out. That's a huge problem for me. Every play had a shot. and the Bengals just wanted it more. So it's a turnover on downs. That's embarrassing. Going forward on fourth down, love it. That's the kind of aggressive call I want to see. But the play calling to me in that particular moment was absolutely garbage. Okay. The 3 runs from shotgun and a fade to a sub 6 foot wide receiver. I don't think that was, I don't know who thought of that game plan or those play callings during that time, but it was not a good idea. All right. It's like it was like Dave Canales or Brad Ezek folded in the red zone there. So that's number one. That's number one missed opportunity for me. Number 2, you missed the deep ball to Deontay Johnson. Close doesn't cut it. So in the second drive, right, the game 0-0, plenty of hope. Dalton sees Deontay Johnson with a 1-on-1 matchup down the left side line. He launches it, and the ball hits Johnson's fingertips, but he can't bring it in. That's brutal because I don't care if it was a foot too long or Johnson should have made the grab. When the ball hits a receiver's hand, it's got to be caught, period. 2 plays later, then Dalton hits a mid-throw, and then the ball floats into the Bengals' arms. Turnover. Instead of gaining 40 yards, the Bengals are 16 yards away from the end zone. So that momentum swing clicks just like that. All right. Another thing was Jamar Chase made, again, our defense in that game look like a JV team against Jamar Chase. Besides J.C. Horn, because when J.C. Horn was on him, J.C. Horn only allowed 1 catch and 11 yards. But they moved Jamar Chase around the field where J.C. Horn wasn't. Why Ejiro Evero never made any adjustments to keep J.C. Horn on him is beyond me. All right? I still think you got to make some adjustments. That's another thing I have a particular I don't know what the word is that I'm trying to think. I have a particular frustration in that because it's with Ejiro Evero right now. It's a particular frustration I have for him because he doesn't make adjustments to this complex 3-4 scheme. It's an issue. We talked about it the other day. This 3-4 scheme does not fit the personnel, and the injuries don't help either. This team should have stuck with the 4-3 defense, and Phil Snow looks like the better defensive coordinator every single day he's gone from Carolina. Phil Snow, I think, as of right now, is a better defensive coordinator than Ejiro Evero ever was for Carolina. Evero is stubborn in his own way, and that's when it comes down to this defense. Again, I will say personnel doesn't help. The talent doesn't help. The injuries don't help either. But this, even without the injuries, this personnel is not fit for 3-4 defense. It's just not. You don't have a true nose tackle. You don't have linebackers that can fill their gaps correctly. You're dropping your defensive and you're dropping your outside linebackers into coverage. It makes no sense. You got Jadeveon Clowney going out into coverage. You had Brian Burns going out in coverage. It doesn't make sense. Those guys should not be dropping back in coverage. So that's where I have an issue at. That's where I have an issue at with Ejiro Evero right now. You've got to make some adjustments. There's too many damn missed opportunities for this team in this last game, ladies and gentlemen. And especially on the defensive side of the ball. You don't make adjustments. So Jamar Chase just lit us up in this game. And we're gonna think about the game. All right. Think about the game. We're in the third quarter. It's tied 7 at 7. The Bengals are, I think it's 3rd and 3, and they dump a pass over the middle of Jamar Chase, if you remember, if you watched the game. And then the Panthers defense in all their glory proceeds to turn a simple stop into a highlight reel for Jamar Chase. Xavier Woods flies in like a missile, head down, barely grazes J.C. Horn. Fine. Maybe he's not taking down Chase. But Charles Harris, right there, who you're an edge rusher, except he decides to give Chase a little twirl and then lets him go. Like they're dancing in middle school prom, man. Like Troy Hill tries to stop Chase, but it's like he's playing freeze tag. I mean, Chase is already gone by the time Hill reacts. Chase takes it to 63 yards to the house, and the Panthers are left staring at each other like, what the fuck just happened? So, Ejiro Evero, I know you can't change the scheme up to 4-3 because that'd be flipping the whole playbook. But my goodness, man, make some adjustments, bro. But the missed tackles by the Woods and Charles Harris and Troy Hill, it's unacceptable. You get paid millions of dollars to play pro ball, and you missing tackles, even just a basic tackle. Like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. This shouldn't be happening. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to harp too much on the Evero thing. I harped on it the other day when we were talking about it. Again, he's just got to make some adjustments. I get that the personnel doesn't fit the 3-4. I understand the talent ain't there. I understand we're bombarded with injuries. But this team should have never been in a 3-4 defense. Not even when Evero came in. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, David Tepper is involved in that 3-4 scheme. He's the one that told Evero to run the 3-4. Where was that? And someone explain to me in the chat, if you can. Where was there any rumors that David Tepper was told Ejiro Evero to run a 3-4 scheme? He was running a 3-4 scheme at Denver, bro. That's what kind of scheme he runs. That's what scheme he runs. So why are we blaming the owner that we're just like, all right, we're just going to say that it's Ejiro Evero or it's David Tepper. Again, it's all Evero, ladies and gentlemen. He's not making adjustments, and he's stubborn in his own way, and he's not making adjustments. Derek Brown, I don't think should be a right end or a left end. I don't think Shy Tuttle shouldn't be a nose tackle. A'Shawn Robinson shouldn't be. I mean, I guess he is an end, but again, at the same time, it's just I just don't think the 3-4 fits this personnel at all, and we're not making any adjustments. We're not making any adjustments. Some other things that we need to learn from that game is the goal line slip up before the half. All right, for all the marbles. The Panthers offense manages to tie it up 14-14. All right, y'all with me? All right, 14-14. 69 seconds left in the half. The defense implodes again. A few iffy penalties set the Bengals up with a 3rd and goal and the 1 yard line. 6 seconds left. Just make the stop, and the half is over. They do a swing pass to Zach Moss. Nick Scott is there ready to save the day. Scott slips. Moss slips too. But here's the difference. Moss gets up first, dives over the goal line. Just like that, Bengals go up 21-14. Then the Panthers then kick the Panthers in the teeth by scoring on the first drive on the second half to go up 28-14. That's a huge backbreaker. 1-on-1 at the goal, and the Panthers just let it slip up, literally through their fingertips. So we're digging. The problem is we're digging our own damn grave. in that last game. We digged our own grave, and even in some cases, the first 2 weeks, if we watch those games, we're digging our own graves in certain situations, man. But in just the first half in this last game, they managed to blow a handful of game-changing plays. They screwed up many times, dropped balls, missed tackles. You dig yourself a hole too deep to climb out of when you're going up against teams like Cincinnati. We fought for sure. You kept trying. Sure, they did. You can't keep playing from behind and expect to win, though. They're a scrappy team right now with Andy Dalton at the helm. I think his leadership has changed so much tremendously. It's brought a whole different morale in this team. But scrappiness doesn't mean jack if you constantly miss chances and you're relying on your 36-year-old quarterback to throw the ball 40 times a game or worse, trying to pull off a desperation fake punt to keep yourself in the game. That's it for that's not going to work. So that's it for the Cincinnati thing. I'm done talking about it. I just want to say that we've got to fix these mistakes going into this Chicago game. And we'll break down more of that Chicago game tomorrow. We're going to do a full breakdown. I was trying to get a guy from the NFC South round or from the NFL Roundtable or Roundtable Sports. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Roundtable Sports. I was trying to get the Chicago guy to come on the channel for us to have another little breakdown session like I did last week with the Cincinnati guy, but unfortunately his schedule's not allowing it right now at this time. So we are going to have to, it's just going to be me and you guys this week breaking it down. All right, let's get right into it. Hot take time. Panthers O-line worth the price? Question mark. Now, a lot of people, I know a lot of you guys are probably, we're not all about this. Obviously, they were doing this for Bryce Young, right? They wanted to do that. But, I mean, the lowest team pressure rate through week 4, I mean, that's pretty good. That's back-to-back weeks that we've been top 10 in lowest team pressure rates, by the way. Top 10. So, here's my hot take. I think the Carolina Panthers, and I've been telling y'all this, it might not even be a hot take at this point. It might not even be a hot take at this point. The Carolina Panthers have actually held it down this week, this season, because of the offensive line. The Panthers' record might not show what this offensive line is doing, but the truth is that our offensive line, to me, is solidified and is one of the best in the NFL. I think it's top 5. All right? Because I think you can make a strong case right now that this offensive line is top 5 in the league, and here's why. Number 1, they were top 5, top 10 for the first 2 weeks. Let's be clear there. You just had a guy who's still playing like a rookie quarterback, number 1 overall pick, who they built this whole line for to protect you, and you're still holding on to the ball too long because you're too indecisive and you're scared to throw the ball, and you don't have enough zip on your ball to get it like a 36-year-old Andy Dalton. That's why. That's why they didn't look too good. Everybody wanted to say, well, Bryce doesn't look good. It's the O-line's fault. They wanted to bring that narrative again, but they couldn't because back-to-back week, but this is 4 weeks in a row that this offensive line has been on the 33rd team of the lowest team pressure rates allowed. So this team, this is an absolute fortress of an offensive line. This offensive line is doing exactly what they got paid to do, is protect the quarterback. Now, in week 4, we saw the lowest of the low for them, like the lowest pressure rate allowed. That's insane, considering they've got Andy Dalton, 36 years old, back there. And no matter how shaky the team's been, the O-line has been a rock, even given when Bryce Young was back there. Bryce Young had time to make plays, but he's still obviously trying to figure it out. You got Chandler Zavala, who stepped in for Damian Lewis. We didn't even have our full starting healthy lineup of an offensive line. Chandler Zavala was stepping in for Damian Lewis. Like, that low pressure rate isn't a one-off either. This unit has been consistent, putting up strong performances, right? Week after week, even against tough defensive fronts. Like, you can't expect Bryce Young or Andy Dalton to go out there and play well without a solid protection, okay? Same thing for Bryce Young. You can't develop him without a solid protection. All right, I'll give you that, or I'll give Bryce that. But this line has been keeping both of those guys upright in the games. But if you go back and watch the games that Bryce was in, you go back and watch the games Andy Dalton has been, the first 2 games of each, this offensive line, it was still looking like a top 10, top 5, even with Bryce Young back there. Problem is that we saw more sacks because Bryce holds on to the ball too long. So he's taking the sacks, much less the offensive line, right? They're doing their job. He's just not getting the ball out quick enough. But I think this offensive line is built to dominate. It's a well-paid, well-built unit. Let's not ignore the financial commitment here that we took to shell out the big bucks on this offensive line, making it the most expensive in the NFL. And you know what? They're getting what they paid for. This line was built to dominate. They've been living up to that billing. You left to right, you got Ike Ekwonu at left tackle. You got Damian Lewis at left guard. You got Austin Corbett at center. You got Robert Hunt at guard. You got Taylor Mona at right tackle. So shout out to Ike. I want to talk about Ike Ekwonu real quick. Ike Ekwonu has stepped it up for me. He has. He has stepped it up tremendously for me. I've seen a difference in him. I think the scheme better fits him. I think the personnel around him supports him better. He only allowed that one pressure by Trey Hendrickson, and Trey Hendrickson just made a better play on that play. Other than that, that's it. That was that one hurry that he allowed in that last game against Cincinnati. All right. Damian Lewis, absolute beast. Damian Lewis is an absolute monster of a left guard. He goes out there and bulldozes and pancakes dudes, flatten them out in the run game. I think his pass protection could be a little bit better, but he's solid overall. He's solid, but he's not Robert Hunt in the pass protection. He's not Robert Hunt in the pass protection. He's not Austin Corbett. Austin Corbett, there was all that speculation. Remember, we were all questioning the same thing. I was questioning it. You were questioning it. Is Austin Corbett really going to be able to transition to the centerpiece? Is he going to be able to be the general of this offensive line? Is he going to be able to be that solid performer? Because Bradley Bozeman wasn't the issue last year, apparently, ladies and gentlemen. Bradley Bozeman wasn't the issue. Anyway, part of it wasn't Bradley Bozeman's fault last year. Most of the pressures were coming from the left guard and the right guard position. But Bradley Bozeman was also just not living up to his expectations of a Pro Bowl, 3-time Pro Bowl or 2-time Pro Bowl center that he came in here to be, and he just wasn't it. I mean, shout out to Bradley Bozeman for all of the good things that he's done when he's here and that he's still doing in the community. I got to give him props there. I have no hatred or no dislike towards the man. It's just that his performance just didn't live up to the hype for me. But Austin Corbett has definitely surprised me. And as long as he can continue to stay healthy, you got a great center there. Robert Hunt, I don't even know where I need to start with that guy. This guy, I know he's getting paid. I know he's getting paid like a left tackle or right tackle. Because that's what he's getting paid for a guard position. But my God, does he help Taylor Moton out and helps that run game open up? And in pass protection, the guy's an absolute monster. And then yeah. Flames going off about that defense. I see Flame going off in that defense. Yeah, Dixon, no, for sure. Icky's weakness is definitely identifying the blitzes. He's late on blitzes. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you, Dixon. My problem is that they could stack the box on Bryce, run stunts, 5 can't block 8. Yeah, no. Roadmaster, once you start blitzing and you start hitting Bryce Young, it's game over. You already got in his head, and that's it. That's it. But what blows my mind is he just still holds on to the ball too long. So, and then Taylor Moton at right tackle. All these guys aren't just playing well. They're playing like one of the best units in football. It's not easy to put together a line with this level of talent across the board, but the Panthers have done it. Again, Robert Hunt, if you're looking for an MVP of this group, he's the MVP. Robert Hunt is. He's been a monster. He's graded out at a 73.9 through Pro Football Focus. He's the highest graded lineman on the team. He's been an anchor on the right side. He's that kind of player that sets the tone for the rest of the line, and he is consistent. And that is a big reason why Carolina's offensive line is thriving. It's not just Hunt. Again, Icky, Lewis, Moton, Corbett, they're all graded out in the high 60s, low 70s, according to PFF right now, which means they're not just average, they're above average across the board. So when every player on your line is performing at this level, this becomes a top tier unit. But even then, you got to think about it. Chandler Zavala, there's still that next man up mentality with this offensive line. Because that's what makes this line even more impressive is that we've faced some adversity. Damian Lewis missed time with an elbow injury, and yet the line doesn't miss a beat. So the next man up mentality is alive and well in Carolina. It's showing in now how this unit continues to perform no matter who's on the field. And with that kind of depth, it is rare in the NFL. And it's another reason why the Panthers O-line deserves to be considered top 5. Just like Chandler Zavala, you see him right there in that picture. He stepped in for Damian Lewis and did very well. He only allowed, I think, one pressure or one hurry. But another thing that makes this offensive line is the versatility of it and the run blocking. Obviously, the biggest talking point of this offensive line has been the pass protection, right? But Carolina's line is also doing a great job in the run game. That was something that we've been wanting them to be able to do is create those run lanes, open up those holes, give the running backs room to work with. And this versatility makes them dangerous, whether they're keeping their quarterback upright or paving the way for the ground game. A great offensive line, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to hear this when I say this. A great offensive line in the NFL does not just protect the passer. They make the whole offense better. That's exactly what this front 5 is doing right now. Yeah, Kendall, I agree with you. We got to throw a bag at the edge rusher position and D line. And we need to switch to a 4-3 defense, ladies and gentlemen. A 4-3. Let's get away from this 3-4 defense. Get away from this 3-4 defense. It's time to go back to the 4-3 defense. Burns averaged about 7 to 8 sacks, but we see now why we don't pay him big money. Exactly, Dixon. I'm glad that you are not the only one that thinks that, because he's actually in a better situation in New York with the talent they have on that D line and that in that linebacker room than he was here. And he's underperforming that contract that they paid him. So, Dixon, I agree with you. That's why you don't pay a man $30,000 a year, $30 million a year to get you 1 sack and 6 tackles, whatever he's got right now in 4 games. That's ass. That's what we do. Yeah, Roadmaster, again, he still got some stuff to work on, but he has improved. I think that the scheme and the personnel around Icky has improved his game tremendously. And having a guy like Robert Hunt leading the way tells me all I need to know. But I think Corbett's also a general on that offensive line. He's very good at identifying the defenses, because you'll see him down there pointing out. It does feel good to have that O-line. It does feel good to have that O-line. But, yeah, we do need a new D-line. I'm going to get to y'all's comments today, guys. I promise. Y'all are going off. I love it. The big difference between Bryce and Dalton with this offense is that Roadmaster Dalton get that ball out, and I love it. Yep, that is the difference. And another thing is Bryce can't make the same throws that Dalton does. Run game opens up when they can't stack the box because of a pass threat. Facts, Roadmaster. Facts. We need to draft the best edge or D lineman. Yep. I think what we need to do, Domo, is we need to go do what the Rams did, but trade back whatever first pick we get. All right. So whatever we get, right? Top 10, it'll probably be top 5. It would, even if we win 5 games, it's still going to be 6 or 7. Right now, the way it looks, based off of from the NFC South Roundtable, shout out to Colby, Patriots Global. We were talking about it on the show. Right now, if the Panthers were drafting right now, we'd be the 6th pick in the draft. So with that 6th pick, all right, for example, I would take that 6th pick and try to turn it into 2 first-round picks in that draft. And then I would go and get me the best D lineman and one of the best D linemen and one of the best edge rushers in those first 2 picks. That's what I would do, Domo. I hope I'm pronouncing your first name correctly. Domo or Damo. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Fuck it. Let's run a 6-1 front. Might as well at this point, Dixon. Might as well. Question. Kendall comes in with a question here. It says, if Evero does not get a head coaching job next year, do we keep him or bring in a new DC? I say we keep him, Kendall, because I think that he could run a 4-3 defense. But that's what he just needs to realize. That's what we need to be in. Now, if he doesn't realize that, and I'm Dave Canales and I'm Dan Morgan, it's time to move on. We go find a guy that can run a 4-3 defense. Yeah, he's playing like a $30K a year. Yeah, I know. Who's going to be our quarterback if Andy retires? I mean, play for Jesus. We'll see. I mean, maybe Andy, let's see what Andy does the rest of the season. If he decides to stay, if he decides to go, he might want to play another, depending on how this year goes, he might want to play another year. And if he wants to play another year, sign him for a 1-year deal, $5 million for the play next year. Let him bridge out this year. We build that defensive line in that edge rushing room. We build that defense right back up. And then you go out and in the next draft, you go get Nico or you go get Arch Manning. That's what I would do. Or you take that 2nd round pick in this draft, you go get Jackson Dart, because that's where I see him being, and you have him sit behind Dalton and compete with Bryce for the backup position, and then let Jackson Dart develop behind Dalton. But who knows? I mean, if Dalton does move on, to your question, I'm sure we'll find some bridge guy, because that's what we're going to have to bring in, some bridge guy, whether it's like a Drew Lock, or maybe you go and get Sam Howell, who's sitting over there in Seattle's bench, or you just go get a bridge guy. Maybe you go get Gardner Minshew. I don't know, but you get a bridge. That's what you need right now, a bridge quarterback. Nothing else. Because Bryce Young ain't it, and it ain't going to work out if you put him back in that lineup. Yep, said it right. Facts. I wouldn't be mad with a trade back for more capital. Absolutely. Dixon, listen, I know a lot of people are high on him. I know a lot of people are high on Cam, but I just would say you might want to take a step back on that. Just take a step back. Compete with Bryce for the Amtrak seat. Right now, I'm happy to use Andy as a bridge. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, if we can keep him another year, he wants to play and he feels like he can. Right now we got to see Sam Darnold come back. I'll play for Jesus. The way he's playing right now, I would not be mad at that at all. Because I think Dave Canales could probably do what O'Connell's doing up in Minnesota. But it's funny how a guy who's in a good situation, because Sam Darnold was never in a good situation, even when he was here. It's funny how you put a guy in a good situation like in Minnesota, Sam's balling out. I hope the Vikings go far, because I want my statement that Sam Darnold is going to be the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in that draft class. I think I said that he was going to be the best, but that didn't work out. I thought his tape from USC showed a lot, but that's just me. He's still young. From what I'm hearing, this is a deep edge and corner class. Trade back, take the best D tackle first round, use the second on edge. Hell, with drafting a quarterback right now. Well, Kendall, what I was saying is right now, if we were drafting right now, we would be the 6th pick. I think that you take that 6th pick and you trade back, draft capital. You'll probably get 2 first-round picks. You could get 2 first-round picks for the 6th pick. Take those 2 first-round picks and go get you the best D tackle and the best edge rusher in that first round, or at least one of the top 2 at top 3 that you'll be able to get. Because the way that our second-round pick is looking right now from the Rams, it's looking like the number 1 pick in the second round, because we made that trade with the Rams. So that Rams second-round pick is going to be a high second round. So then you're going to be able to go get whatever you want in that second round. Andy had planned to retire, but he's having fun right now. We'll see. Good coaching is helping him there. Either elite D tackle, D line talent, or trade back. Yep. I agree with you fully, brother. Watch Dan Cook. I think he will. It is a good class for edge and DB for sure. What about, listen, I mean, Dixon, it would be, listen, I will say this. If Travis Hunter, let's say if we were at the 6th pick and Travis Hunter's there at the 6th pick, it would be really hard for me not to take Travis Hunter and trade back that pick. I will say that is a tough call. I think Travis Hunter is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. It would be hard for me not to take a chance with him. But I don't know. I don't know if there's a guy. I don't know if that kid can continue that level that he's playing in the NFL, what he's doing in Colorado. I don't know if he could transition playing both positions. I just don't know how well that's going to be. That just sounds like a lot. It just sounds like a lot. So I don't know. But I'm okay with it. I would not be mad if we went and got him. I could tell you that. I would not be mad about the pick. All right, another hot take for me. I think Chuba Hubbard right now is a top 5 running back in the NFL. Right now. Chuba Hubbard is that guy right now. And some of you might be like, Clay, what are you smoking? Some of you guys may agree. Some of you guys are like, I see the potential, but I can't say it right now. Right? This is the same dude who was once viewed as a solid backup. Right? Because he was behind one of the best in the NFL and Christian McCaffrey. He was that shadow. But this year, he's leveled up to being one of the best running backs in the NFL this season. Top 5. You might be rolling your eyes. Again, like I said, you're huffing and puffing at this, but I'm going to break it down for you right now. Because the numbers, the tape, and the impact are all there, and it's proven. Okay? So again, Hubbard started his career off, ladies and gentlemen, as Christian McCaffrey's backup, who basically meant he was living in the shadow of one of the best all-purpose backs probably in NFL history. All right? McCaffrey got traded. People figured, okay, Hubbard would be the part of some running back by committee that would struggle to find its identity, which it kind of did at first. And then Chuba, I feel like even last year seized his damn moment. Even though he didn't break 1,000, he was very close. Behind a shittier offensive line. But Hubbard, to me, is no longer a guy that you just go out and plug him in for a couple of carries and the starter and the rest of the starter rest. Like, he's become the focal point of the Panthers offense. Like, and frankly, he's carrying this team on his back. Felt like he was carrying this team on his back for most weeks before Andy Dalton came in, because someone had to do it. And the quarterback play has been suspect when Bryce was back there. The O-line wasn't really lighting the world on fire till now. And here we are. Chuba has broken off big runs, consistently dragging this offense forward. Like, the numbers don't lie, ladies and gentlemen. The numbers don't lie. I mean, he's averaging 5.4 yards per carry. And then you said he didn't have any hands. 13 targets, 13 receptions, 0 drops. Chuba Hubbard is putting up top-tier numbers. He's doing it without the benefit of being in a high-flying offense as that, like a Christian McCaffrey in San Francisco, or what they got in Dallas, okay? Or even, I'm trying to think of another high-flying offense. Maybe the Texans, for example, or somebody like that. All right? Hubbard's running behind a great offensive line, so you got to give credit still to the offensive line, what they're doing. All right, but last year they represented Swiss cheese. But now he's turned this level of production, and I think you have to give some credit, obviously, to the offensive line, but also at the same time, you got to give credit to the player. Like, look at the rushing yards per game, okay? He's averaging almost, I don't think he's averaging 100 yards yet, but he's getting close. Like, you look at his yards after contact. You look at his ability to pick up those tough yardages in crucial situations when the Panthers passing game is busy being irrelevant. Like, he has a combination of speed. He's got the vision. He's got the toughness. That has him consistently getting those 5 to 7 yard chunks, even when the defense knows the run is coming. And that's all the sign of an elite back to me. He's getting it done when everyone knows you're getting the ball. So if you want to get all analytical about it, look at his efficiency metrics, yards per carry, explosive runs, like yards per carry, top 10. Explosive runs, he's got plenty. Missed tackles forced. Hubbard's out there making defenders look silly every single week. In an era where the running back position is often devalued or seen as an interchangeable position, and Hubbard's out here putting up top 5 production on a team, let's be honest, is bottom 5 in almost everything. I mean, if we're being completely honest here, right? Like, this guy is versatile. He's not just a running back, running the damn ball type of back. In today's NFL, if you can't catch a pass out the backfield, you're just a dinosaur waiting to go extinct. And Chuba Hubbard, he's the modern prototype. He's not just grinding between the tackles. He's also dangerous in the passing game. His handles are reliable. He's a nightmare for linebackers in space. He's shown the ability to turn short passes into big gains, giving his quarterback a much-needed safety valve. And when everything is falling apart, Hubbard's quick enough to bounce outside and turn what should be a loss into a decent pickup. His versatility makes him a weapon on all 3 downs, which is exactly why he's in the conversation for me for being a top 5 back in the league. Now, right now, who's better than him? I know Chris McCaffrey's hurt. You could probably say Derrick Henry. Nick Chubb is still coming off an injury. You probably could say Chuba Hubbard or Saquon Barkley's better than him right now. Jonathan Taylor. Maybe. I mean, right now, I feel like Jonathan Taylor has not been that good, at least as of late. Austin Eckler is older now. Dalvin Cook's fallen off the face of the earth. I would say guys like Bijan and maybe Jahmyr Gibbs are more talented than him right now. But they're in some, like Jahmyr Gibbs is in a particular situation there in Detroit. Bijan, I would say, is better than Chuba, though. But really, I've only named really 3 guys I think that are better than him. I don't think Jahmyr Gibbs is better than him. I think he is a better talent than him, but I don't think Jahmyr Gibbs is playing better than him right now. And again, that's just because of the situation where Jahmyr Gibbs is at. But this guy is delivering consistent production every single week. And on a team where the defense knows that damn well he's running the damn ball. Like, defensive knows that. So if you're still doubting it, I get it. Go ahead. But again, I want y'all to name me some backs right now that you that you would take over Hubbard right now. Not based on hype, not based on past performances, based on this season alone. Because right now, I think you would come up short. I think there's maybe 4 guys that may be better than him, but other than that, he's top 5. I do. Because the eye test doesn't lie, because the numbers, the numbers only tell parts of the story here. Like, when you watch this guy run, tell me how he's not one of the most dangerous backs in the league right now. That combination that he has of the burst, the power, he's got instinctive ability to find the hole, hit it hard, and leave defenders grasping at air. When you see him bounce off tacklers and turn what should be a 3-yard gain to a 10-yard run, you're watching one of the best backs in the league at work. He's not just doing the basics. He's creating yards where there shouldn't be any. And don't get me started on how good he is in open field. The dude has some serious wiggle. He's not afraid to lower the shoulder and run over someone if he needs to. Hey, Clay, okay, hey, Clay, if we can, yo, who's in here? We got some people in here. We got Dom in here. What's up, man? Carolina Polls, what's up? Chris comes in and says, "Here, hey Clay, if we can get Mason Graham, defensive tackle, first round, get JT to Lamelu for our DN and or edge rusher with our second pick, what?" With that third pick, get Jashawn Barham or Samuel Moden Jr. I probably lean toward Jashawn Barham on that, Chris. I think he's better fit if they continue a 3-4 scheme. I think he's a better linebacker if you for him for the 3-4 if they continue to go that route. Scheme wise, I feel like Moden's more athletic though, but maybe that's just me. I wouldn't be mad at either of them, honestly, but I feel like Samuel would be a better fit in a 4-3. But again, Chuba Hubbard's also got that workhorse mentality too. Like we've seen clips of him talking. And that's very rare in the era that we're in, where so many backs are either injury prone, getting rested constantly. Like Hubbard's a guy who can handle a full workload and then some. Like he's been able to do that. Like he's got the stamina, the toughness, the durability to be a 20 carry a game guy. He's shown that. Not everybody in the NFL can say that. And I think, in fact, most can't. Let's be real. It's hard to earn everything. Like Hubbard didn't come into the league with a ton of fanfare. He wasn't a first-round pick. He wasn't hailed as the next big thing. And now he's playing like one of the best, and he's doing it on a team that needs him to be. I just think that people just got to put some respect on this guy's name, and he's earned it. Week after week for me, he's proving that he's just not some guy that fills in or a guy who's riding a hot streak. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL right now. Again, stats back it up. The film backs it up. The eye test backs it up too. He's a complete player to me that is excelling in a less than ideal situation still, and that's what separates him from the pack. So I think if we're going to talk about the top backs in the league, and the next time you're talking about it with your buddies or whoever, make sure the conversation is Chuba Hubbard's name's in that conversation, because whether you like it or not, I think he's earned a spot at the top. And if you don't agree, well, it's on you. It's on you. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We got some more topics to talk about. Before we get into that, shout out to our sponsors of today's live stream, BetUS. Sign up for free today. Get 125% bonus on your first 3 bets up to, I think it's $1,200 or $2,000, something like that. The link is in my bio. The link is actually in the description of this live stream. And also shout out to Roundtable Sports. Of course, if you've missed it today or missed the live stream, you can go rewatch it. And also, we just posted up our Week 5 preview and predictions for each and every one of our games. So go check it out on NFC South Roundtable. Shout out to Roundtable Sports.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports. Real coverage from real fans.
So shout out to Roundtable Sports. Appreciate everyone in here. Join the live stream. Let's move on to the next topic here. Y'all got to stop with the Bryce Young trades. Kane's 5 minutes. Some stale fries. All right. Here are the players I think that have earned a new contract. All right. Hold on. Let me get back over here. Transition. There we go. So these are the guys that I think have earned their next contract for the next however long. I think that each and every one of these guys have earned their contracts for next year. Andy Dalton, let's face it, Bryce Young was a shit show. Benched him. Best move by the coaching staff has ever made. Andy Dalton, who's at, I think, 37 now. I don't think he's at 36 anymore. The guy is in the future, but he's a hell of a lot more competent right now than Young was in 2 starts. Dalton has managed the game like a pro, protecting the ball, taking deep shots when they're there. Most importantly, he keeps this damn offense from imploding. All right. So that's where I got him. Okay. He gives us a fighting chance. I think offering him a 1-year extension as a stopgap makes sense. The real question is, if we do that, what the hell does that mean for Bryce Young? Spoiler alert for him. I'll tell you what it means for Bryce Young. It doesn't look good for you. Okay. Deontay Johnson. Panthers traded for him. Looked like a steal to me. The dude needed a fresh start. Things are clicking. The things weren't clicking with Bryce Young, as everybody else made it out to be during the offseason. Surprise, surprise, Andy Dalton comes in, and suddenly Johnson looks like an absolute stud. Over 200 yards in 2 games? Yeah. That's more like it. Here's the problem. ESPN's Adam Schefter came out and said that Johnson might be out the door after this season, no matter what. So if the Panthers don't lock him down soon, they are going to have to trade. They would have to trade him before the deadline. If they don't, I think you got to extend this guy, though. He's played well enough for me to give him a contract. If Carolina doesn't pony up, some other team will. And this is the time you want to pay him, because if he continues to ball out, it's going to be tougher to pay him. Austin Corbett, again, we took a huge risk banking on this guy to move to center. All right. This guy has been an absolute beast. The pass protection, he hasn't given up a sack. He's holding the line together better than anyone expected. The offensive line went from a weak spot to a strength, and it's because of this guy's leadership, and that's a big part of that. So in only 4 games, Corbett has suddenly forgets how to in only 4 games, unless Corbett suddenly forgets how to block, extending him should be a top priority. Again, a good offensive line doesn't grow on trees, ladies and gentlemen. Corbett made this unit respectable for the first time in years. So you got to give a guy a contract. Chuba Hubbard, I think I already said it all. All right. All I got to say is averaging 5.4 yards per carry, nearly 300 rushing yards in 4 games. The guy's making a damn good case for himself. All right. So if they're smart, I'd offer him an extension before Brooks is fully healthy, and then having those two together as your 2-headed monster for the future, I say why not? J.C. Horn, the guy seems to be finally healthy. He's proving why we spent a first-round pick. I always knew that this guy was going to be good. I always knew that he was an elite corner. He locked down Jamar Chase when he was on him, and Devontae Adams in the Raiders game. Again, this defense is falling apart due to coaching, scheme, and personnel. But Horn, to me, has been one of the bright spots of this defense right now. Now, he's under contract through 2025, but if he continues to play like this, stays healthy, I'd rather extend him sooner rather than later because it makes sense. It's not going to be cheap, but the longer they wait, the higher that price tag climbs. So, I mean, again, I think this guy is finally showing he's more than just potential. I think he's the real deal. And I think we would be stupid not to lock him up for long term. Oh, there's Broski Bear. There's Broski Bear. Ready for the mauling this week? We'll talk about that. Broski, we're going to talk about that game tomorrow. I'm going to do a full breakdown. We'll do a full breakdown of the we're going to do a full breakdown of the Panthers and Bears game tomorrow. I was trying to get Broski, I was trying to get a Bears content creator to come on here and talk about it. Oh gosh, chat's betting. The chat is betting. Broski Bear, you got people wanting to bet on the game. Uh-oh. What did you start, Broski? What did you start? Oh. All right, let's talk about Trevin Wallace. Now, the Carolina Panthers this season isn't just going down the drain. I feel like it is a bit of a free fall, ladies and gentlemen. I will say, even with some of the optimism, the hot takes, this is not a very positive take, I'll say. And I'll tell you why. Like, I believe in this kid, but I'm going to tell you some things that I have just, again, that bother me. Like, the injuries are piling up like garbage. As if our third loss of 4 games wasn't enough. You add salt to the wound with all the injuries we're having, right? Shaq Thompson goes down for the season, a torn Achilles. You're talking about adding insult to injury, like literally. So we're scrapping to fill this massive gap. What's worse is that there's a damn good chance Thompson may have played his last down for a team after almost a decade of his service with us. So what's going to step up? Well, who's going to step up? Sorry. Not what's going to step up. Who's going to step up? Trevin Wallace. That's who's got to step up. We have no choice. The rookie linebacker. Whether he's ready for it or not, here it comes. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. The Panthers are in a shit show position right now in this defense. They've lost 17 of their last 20 regular season games. Listen to what I just said. The Carolina Panthers have lost their last 17 of their last 20 games of the regular season, and now we're hanging by a thread once again. And now without Shaq Thompson, who I think is a leader on this defense, you have to move up the rookie in his position. Now, linebackers are dropping like flies. You got Josie Jewell, who's also out for at least a week, dealing with a groin and a hamstring injury. So who's next? Who's the next man up? Well, it's Trevin Wallace, who has a grand total of 36 snaps under his belt. So all I got to say to Trevin Wallace is this. Get ready, kid, because you've been thrown into the fire. Whether you sink or swim is on you, and I guess we'll see. Dan Morgan took a gamble with grabbing Trevin Wallace, by the way, in that 3rd round of the draft. They skipped over some glaring needs that we were looking at, and let's be real. It raised a few eyebrows. He's got the potential, but nobody was expecting this guy to step up, especially this damn soon. He's been riding the bench, playing special teams, learning from Shaq, learning from Jewel, but now the spotlight's on him. It's either sink or swim time, like I said. All right. Again, we are a team that's already circling the drain. We got nothing to lose by tossing Wallace into the starting lineup. What's the worst that could happen? More losses? We're already there. This is a rookie. This is a rookie shot to show if he's the real deal or just another body in the lineup. And if he crumbles, then the Panthers will be scraping the bottom of the barrel for some practice squad. Nobody, or probably worse, a wash-up free agent still living on a prayer. All right. Now, if I would say no Shaq, no problem, I wouldn't bet on it. Let's not downplay this. Losing Shaq Thompson is a gut punch to this defense. He was the last guy from that Panthers Super Bowl run back in 2015. His leadership on and off the field is irreplaceable. I do agree with that. But the NFL is ruthless, and it's time to see if Wallace can be that hair. Can be the hair of a parent. All right? Have you ever heard that before? But here's the kicker. Wallace probably wasn't supposed to be in this position. Like Evero had probably planned to ease him in slowly. But plans don't mean shit when injuries start racking up. So here we are. Wallace is going to have to figure out on the fly. It's trial by fire, and the Bears in week 5 aren't going to go easy on it. It's time to sink or swim, like I said. For Wallace, though, I will say this. This is a chance he's been waiting for, even if it's earlier than anyone anticipated. He's got to show he's worth the faith the Panthers put on him by drafting him. Is he the next big thing, or is he just another body filling in while this team limps through another garbage season? Only time will tell. Now, the Panthers, again, are already swirling down the toilet, like I said, and Wallace has a golden opportunity to pull them out, or at least a little bit. And if he flops, well, then the team will be right back where they started, searching for answers in a sea of mediocrity, because that's where we've been. But maybe, just maybe, he could be the long-term answer that we've desperately needed at the linebacker. Because if he does shine, you never know. This is either going to be pretty or it's going to be pretty ugly. What do we got? What's this bet going on? Bet you say Roadmaster sounds good. Straight up. Win, loss, no point spread, 50 it is. Yeah. There you go, Flame. Internet bets are wild. I hope you pay up, broski. Oh, gosh. All right, so we got a little bet going on in here. Stacy, Fat Boy Swags beaming. I believe in heaven. Shaq sent him Bears film to watch before his surgery. Give the whole damn defense a missed tackle from that. Give the whole damn defense a missed tackle for that. Yeah. Clay, we have to get Mason Graham weather for a 3-4 nose tackle, 4-3 D tackle. He'll be a great game changer and asset, especially next to Derek Brown. Yeah, I was saying Graham. Were you saying? Hold on, let me go back to your first comment. Mason Graham, whether for yes, Mason Graham, yes. I like him too, Chris. Again, well, we will start breaking down some college football players here soon. We'll definitely do it. All right. Panthers took a gamble on Caleb Farley. Is it worth it? We'll see. Like, Dan Morgan and the Panthers are trying to find any player who can stop this dumpster fire of a season. The latest brilliant idea was, let's go get Caleb Farley, the guy who was supposed to be a top-tier cornerback who's also spent more time in the ER than on the field. And now he's starting on the practice squad with hope of eventually making it to the main roster. I think it's a long shot. But I think the potential's there. But the guy's got to stay healthy. Let's be real. This is a low risk, high reward situation. I kind of see this being almost like a CJ Henderson 2.0 situation all over again. But again, the potential's there. And again, if he can stay healthy, then by all means. They're not losing anything by taking a flyer on Farley. His godlike athleticism has always been there, but the guy can't catch a break when it comes to injuries. And come out of Virginia Tech, teams are already spooked by his back issues. Some even took him off the draft boards entirely. The Titans, they didn't get the memo. They rolled the dice with him, took him in the 22nd overall. They took him first overall, 22nd pick back in that 2021 draft. Now you fast forward to today, and he's been cut loose after a pitiful 12 games and one torn ACL. But now he's our problem. Or maybe he somehow becomes a hidden gem out of the blue. I don't know. Either way, it costs us nothing to see if they can dust him off, turn him into something useful. But here's the thing. Is this Caleb Farley's second or third chance? Because I feel like Carolina, with this kid, is playing sympathy card here. Right? Bringing Farley closer to home in North Carolina, maybe being around family will help him get his head right, keeping his body from falling apart for the 87th time. The Panthers are hoping this move sparks something in him. And let's be honest, no one knows what the hell to expect from a guy who's barely touched the field since he left college. At best, Farley is a potential depth piece in the cornerback room that's not exactly stacked as of right now, but not entirely hopeless either. Like, you've got J.C. Horn when he's healthy, and he's been elite the past 4 games. Mike Jackson has been solid. Troy Hill is still kicking around as a veteran slot guy. Hasn't really looked good, but then you got Dane Jackson coming off IR soon, who I think is going to replace Troy Hill. But Farley doesn't have to be a savior here. All he has to do is stay healthy if he wants any shot to prove himself. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, the Panthers have to bring Farley in, and if they bring him along slowly, his body has been through the ringer already. So he's coming in with a torn ACL, a history of back surgeries, God knows what else. He's got the physical tools. He's got the size. He's got the length. He's got the speed. But that doesn't mean shit if he can't stay on the field. It's similar to when Panthers took a chance on Tyreek Cohen last year. Cohen was trying to revive that career after a series of injuries. And if it works out, great. If not, no one's going to cry about it because, frankly, what did they really lose? It's the same deal with Farley here. So I hope Farley can turn things around because I'd love to have another young guy in here. He's still young. There's still time for him to salvage what's left of that career. But let's not sugarcoat it. He's got a long road ahead. I don't think the odds are in this kid's favor. But injuries have derailed this kid countless times throughout his career. But Farley's had more than his fair share, and I think he'll need to stay healthy and build his confidence back up and somehow live up to even a fraction of what the hype he came out of college. At the end of the day, this is just another swing in the dark for us. If he pans out, then we look like geniuses. If not, it's just another name that on the long list of failed projects. That's the way I look at it. Well, actually, Dixon, it's kind of funny you say that because Caleb Farley's when I think it was 2022, his run grade was good. It was like an 80. His coverage grade was like a 40 from PFF. All right, NFL Week 5 picks and predictions. The only game we're not doing, of course, is the Carolina Panthers and the Bears game. All right. I'm talking about, oh, okay, you're talking about Wallace. Okay. First things first, we got the Thursday night football tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons. Here's the thing. I think the Buccaneers beat the Falcons tonight. The Atlanta Falcons, they squeezed out a win against the New Orleans Saints last week thanks to last-minute heroics by Young Ho Koo. I don't care how you pronounce it. Let's be real. They're hosting the Buccaneers on a Thursday night. There's a recipe for a mess. Atlanta has not covered the spread at home yet this season, and the Bucs are not to be taken lightly. All right? So, sure, the Falcons have the home field advantage, but when it comes to these divisional matchups, anything can happen. You think the Bucs are intimidated? I don't think so. I think Liam Cohen at the helm. They're finding their groove with that offense. Baker Mayfield looks like an MVP candidate right now. He's the best quarterback in the NFC South. Atlanta's offense has only managed 5 touchdowns in 4 games. Kirk Cousins just doesn't look the same after that Achilles injury. And I think no wonder people are rolling their eyes. Like, I think that the Bucs just are going to win this game. Simple, easy as that. Next matchup, you've got the Vikings versus the Jets. Now, the Jets, they're an interesting team right now, right? They're coming off a 10-9 loss to the Broncos. Now they're going off to London to face the undefeated Minnesota. Aaron Rodgers, Robert Saleh, they're bickering at each other like an old married couple. The only thing that's more dysfunction than and that's the only thing that's more dysfunctional than that is the Jets offense. Like Garrett Wilson, the wide receiver for the Jets, is tired of the same old, tired of play calls. And he's right, by the way. This team is about as creative as a potato. Meanwhile, the Vikings are firing on all cylinders. They're scoring like it's the 1999, and Sam Darnold looks like a second coming of Joe Montana over there right now. They're leading a high-flying attack. It's not just Rodgers that's struggling. It's the entire Jet squad that looks like they can't get their heads out of their asses. And the Vikings are riding high and won't give the Jets an inch. I'm sorry. I gotta take the Vikings in this one. I think the Vikings win in London, and they get to drink the tea over there and sit back and relax with that win. Cleveland Browns at Washington Commanders. Washington's going to win this game. Okay. Washington Commanders are going to win this game 24-20. Okay. Somehow they are one of the hottest teams in the NFL, and it's because they've won 3 straight. They've covered the spreads like it's their job. The Browns, on the other hand, are in the middle of a 3-game losing streak. I think they're in a dumpster fire of a team once again. Jaden Daniels is a rookie of the year at this point. He's handling this pressure like a pro. I told y'all that he was going to be the best quarterback. I told a bunch of people that he was going to be the best quarterback in this draft class. I knew Caleb Williams wasn't going to be as good as what he was. Sorry, broski. Sorry. I think Jaden Daniels is better. So, but the Browns' offensive line is about as sturdy as a wet tissue paper, right? They've been riddled with injuries. Let's be real. No one trusts them right now. Cleveland, they might get Nick Chubb back. I don't know what his status is, but do we honestly believe he'll appear anywhere near 100%? Give me the Commanders. Give me the Commanders. Ravens, Bengals. This is a hot one for me. Right? The Ravens are back in the game after a devastating win against the Bills. They beat the brakes off of them. They look ready to reclaim their status as contenders. Meanwhile, the Bengals are still trying to figure stuff out. And sure, they've got their first win against us last week, but that defense is still a mess for me. But I think the Bengals are starting to figure it out on offense. If they can continue to keep Joe Burrow upright, I think they'll be fine. I think that this Cincinnati team is still a desperate team that still needs to win at 1-3. All right. I think Cincinnati wins this game. I think it's close, but I think it's like a 30-26 win for the Bengals. I think they get a win because they need it. The Ravens know how to win these kinds of games, I will say, but Cincinnati has to win this game. And they got to do whatever it takes to win, and I think they find a way to do so. I'm going to take the Bengals over the Ravens. That's an upset, I know, but desperate times call for desperate measures, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, you've got the Bills and the Texans, all right? The Texans are young and scrappy. I think it's enough for them to keep up with a motivated Buffalo Bills squad. I know that the Bills are looking to reestablish themselves as a playoff contender. I think this should be a good game. It should be an old-fashioned shootout, but I think the Texans take out the Bills 28-24. Jaguars and the Colts. All right, Jaguars. The Jaguars, for me, they're the only winless team left standing. Another team that's desperate. 9 consecutive losses to the Colts in Jacksonville. I think the stars might finally align for them to snag a win. I think the Colts might be without Jonathan Taylor, which is kind of throwing gasoline on the fire. The owner's breathing down the necks there in Jacksonville, demanding wins. I think the Colts can't seem to win in Jacksonville. If history is any indicator, the Jaguars finally break the curse. So give me the Jaguars to get their first win of the season. Another interesting game, Miami versus the New England Patriots. Now, the Dolphins are a wreck ever since Tua went down. Their offense has been non-existent. They've only scored 1 touchdown the last 2 weeks. Mike McDaniel might have lost this locker room. But what can he do when the team is on its third string quarterback? Okay. I think this is going to be a low-scoring battle. All right. The Patriots might not be fantastic, but they've got some semblance of control. They have a nice run game. So does Miami. I'm taking Miami at New England. I think Tyler Huntley figures it out. He starts getting the balls into the ball to his playmakers, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, right? Odell Beckham might be back. And then you also got your running backs. There are some issues there, but they get the ground game going. I'm going to take the Dolphins in a close one. Give me the Dolphins 17-12. We'll go with that. 17-12. All right, next up, we got the 49ers, ladies and gentlemen. 49ers and the Cardinals. Now, for me, this is easy. I think I'm going to take the 49ers 27-21. They've showed their strength last week by handing the Patriots a loss. Can they keep that momentum going? The Cardinals have been inconsistent. They just put up 14 points again, a mediocre defense. I don't trust if you're betting, I don't trust the 49ers enough to lay more than a touchdown. But some people are all in on San Francisco, claiming they're back to their dominant selves. Either way, it's tough for me to see the Cardinals pull off an upset here. Give me the 49ers. You got the Broncos and the Raiders. You got the Raiders at the Broncos. Raiders are dealing with obviously with all that Devontae Adams wanting out. which is always a good sign for team morale. Meanwhile, you got the Broncos who are on a roll after winning back-to-back games. I think the Broncos can break the Raiders' 8-game winning streak against them. Who won Las Vegas is in turmoil. Even the Broncos' run game isn't overwhelming, but they'll just do enough to edge out a victory. I'm taking the Broncos 20-17 over the Raiders. Packers at the Los Angeles Rams. Give me the Packers 34-17. The Packers are looking to bounce back. Jordan Love is ready to put on a show after his last game against the Vikings. The Rams, they're missing key offensive weapons. They can't keep the pace with Green Bay. A lot of the odds makers are practically begging you guys, if you're looking at the betting on this game, they're begging you to take the Packers. Now, the Rams' pass defense is atrocious, and they won't be able to keep up with that Packers offensive firepower. I think it's a double-digit victory here. And that seems pretty damn likely for me. Give me the Packers 34-17, like I said. Seahawks at the Giants, easy. Seahawks 27-16. Seattle's loss to the Lions was a tough pill to swallow. They still look impressive. On the other hand, the Giants can't score to save their lives. They're without Malik Neighbors, their best weapon. They might be, which is just icing on the cake. So give me the Seahawks. All right. Steelers at the Cowboys. Justin Fields gets the nod still for the Steelers. While he had a rough start to the season, he's been able to develop into a solid quarterback. The Cowboys are coming off a tough loss and are looking to get back in the mix. Both teams have shown moments of brilliance and but also sheer incompetence. So the key here will be which defense can step up and make big plays, which one is likely to cut down. This one's likely to come down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. But I got the Steelers pulling it off. So give me the Steelers. And then last but not least, the Saints versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This one is the Monday Night Football matchup. This one's kind of interesting to me. You're going, again, the Saints have got to brace themselves. But the Kansas City Chiefs don't look like the most dominated team in the NFL. Like they used to. Even MVP Patrick Mahomes it doesn't look as good as he has in the past. I think this game could go down to the wire. Hopefully it doesn't. For Saints fans, you better hope that you come out in a hot start because, again, those refs, when it's close, they throw some flags in some particular situations that somehow the Chiefs end up pulling it out because of that. But I'm gonna take an upset here. I think the Saints enter an Arrowhead. I think that Derek Carr gets his second win over Patrick Mahomes. I think that, and I'm taking an upset. This is my other upset. I think the Saints go in and take out the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it's close. I know a lot of people are probably like, Clay, you're stupid. That seems very unlikely, but I think that the Saints can do it. I think they've got the offensive firepower. I like what I've seen for Clint Kubiak. The Saints beat themselves last week against the Falcons when they lost. They committed too many penalties, and they made too many mistakes, like a muff punt. When you do those kinds of things, you can't win a lot of football games. So I think they learn from their mistakes. They go into Arrowhead. They handle business, but it's a close game. I'll take 23-20 Saints. I'm taking the upset. Jeez, Lou. Prayers for the family. Broski Bear's going off in the chat. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream today. Do me a favor. Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new live streams. Sorry it took me forever to get everything going today. For some reason, things were a little messed up on my end, but it is what it is. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. Shout out to Roundtable Sports. Also, shout out to BetUS for the sponsorships. Appreciate you guys tuning in today. But tomorrow I will be live tomorrow breaking down the Bears Panthers game. We're gonna be talking Bears. We're gonna be talking Panthers. All right, each and every one. Okay, each and every one, each and every game. So, what happened? What happened? Why are we saying what happened? Oh, Roadmaster. Sorry to hear about your loss, man. Sorry to hear about your loss. So prayers out to you and to your family, my friend. Prayers out to you and your family. It's unfortunate. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world, ladies and gentlemen. So remember, 3 things it's normally 4 things. First off, I love every single one of you here that show love and support to me. But 3 things I always like to leave with. Have fun, be safe, and as always, keep pounding. I'm out. Peace.